Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, representing Jason Blaha Strength and Fitness, and once again it is time for my client Alex's training vlog. But a quick reminder, if you guys will please click like down below, it'd be greatly appreciated. If you're not subscribed or following, please do so, and if you'll be kind enough to drop me a comment down below, I would appreciate it so much. Thank you. So let's get over into this. So with Alex, I've had him doing a push-pull legs 3 days a week, but he saw some of the full body stuff I'm putting out. He watches all my content, of course, or a lot of it. And he listened to what I said he's like, hey, I see what you're saying with the full body for being really good for some people scheduling. I feel like this would really work well for me. Can we do this, right? Can we do this? And I told him, yeah, of course we can. Again, we decided to do that. And so I have him on an A and B template pretty much. So if you guys notice workout A here, we do squats, we do bench press, pull-ups, and then barbell curls. Now, as I've said to a lot of people, you can throw an isolation in somewhere on a full body. It works just fine. Again, if you have something you really want to work on. And, his case, we've always decided to do biceps. Biceps are probably his best muscle group overall. He's in t-shirts a lot doing stuff. So just keeping that little bit of biceps, something we just decided to do. Now, I could always take that out later if we feel like and say, it's not that big of a deal. Because you guys kind of know what I've said these days. I honestly feel like lots of pressing and pull-ups really can build most guys' arms the way that they want. And we're not talking about competitive bodybuilder arms, but to have arms that are going to look good to the average person. But still, we've chosen to keep it in. So we pretty much have 4 exercises for 3 sets each on the template A. So it's back squat, and the squats and the bench, depending upon what we're doing, anywhere from 4 up to about 8 reps, all stuff like that. Some of his stuff we're going higher, obviously, but for the most part, most of his training is about the 4 to 8 rep range. All right, and some of it can go as low as 3s, like his deadlift did here. So again, we do that, then we do weighted pull-ups, and we get up to about 8 reps there on the weighted pull-ups for the best sets. And then curls are obviously going to be higher rep. We're usually around that 10 rep range. All right, so for workout B, I only do 1 set of deadlifts, right? But then we do reverse hypers at the end, which you guys will see coming up. So on the deadlift, I've got 385 here. He did a triple. Keeping in mind he's pulled 440 as an all-out PR. We've done that on camera here because I've been coaching him a few years at this point. Gosh, coming up 3 years. So again, but we've done good, 405 squat. So the bench, though, always been a little bit of a weak link, but it's coming up. And yes, he can bench more than 225. I think our best bench has been around 250 when we've tested it. So again, chest is a weak link for him, bench is a weak link for him. So it's why we do some of the other stuff we do. So I had him get an incline bench a while back. So for workout B, now this is looking a lot like, okay, people who used to watch old school, like when I was training like at Iron City before I built any of this home gym stuff that I have now. Some of the vlogs I used to do there, because I didn't document every workout back then, but at least about once a week I'd document a workout. A lot of my workouts for full body were looking like that. It's like, it'd be deadlifts, incline, pull-ups, and then, some sort of overhead press. And that's literally what we're doing for him. I'm just having him do an overhead press. And there's a little bit of knee bend, and I don't care. Like, again, we're not doing a strict press event. And as much as I think the strict press can be a good lift, I don't care if we have a tiny little bit of leg drive and some bent knee. I used to do little push presses very similar to that with a little more dipping. But I really like on a lot of full body finishing with an overhead press. Now, some of my guys treat it earlier in, like one of my guys, we do deadlift, then we just go straight to overhead press, and he benches every other. But again, needs of the individual lifter. So in his case, though, I don't necessarily want him benching 3 times a week. Not everyone's built for that. Once they're past the novice phase, yes, I do it, but I don't think everyone needs to, but I could always change that myself, right? I could always change it and go over to incline in that slot personally. Every other workout, I'd be fine. So again, individual needs with what you're doing. So In fact, I've considered doing stuff like that myself. All right, but back over to my client. So we do that, and we do an overhead press for 3 sets, and then we finish up with reverse hypers. Now I have him doing reverse hypers are being done. How do I put it? Up to 5 sets. So I have him listed as 5 sets. And so what I have him do, because we've already deadlifted that session, he has a reverse hyper. On that day, I usually have him do as many sets as he has time for, up to 5. He only got the time for 1 set. He keeps it loaded over there. He cranks out a set and gets out. It's what he's pretty much have written for him. But ideally, if he has the time, I'd like him to get all 5 sets in, right? Again, assuming he has the time for it, right? And if he does, then hey, great, we get in and get that done. But workout B, then of course, we come back over. Workout A. Getting a little tongue-tied here. We get to workout A, and what do I have him do? Well, very straightforward. So for workout A, we do squat again. We do bench press. We do pull-ups, and then we do curls. Okay. So with the squatting right now, because again, now I'm having to do it multiple times a week, I did notice we're not getting quite as the reps we were getting before. We were getting like 5, 5, and then 6, or 6, 5, and 5. I think we got like 4 or 5 or 6 on this one of these workouts. I need to go back and check the sheet. But we do with a little bit of fatigue. He's had a few cases of getting viruses, colds, that have kind of knocked us back on training just a little bit. So again, the joys of being a dad, as he notes. But also, because again, he's got a very busy life. That's why this sort of training works great for Alex. He has a busy life, He's a dad, he's in his late 30s, full-time busy career. He's got a band, he does gigs, so he's got a very, very full life, career, wife, kids, band. Squeezing in what we can to train is we squeeze in what we can to train. But yet he has when I put some shirtless stuff, a lot of women have said, hey, that's like the ideal dad bod. He got a lot of compliments from ladies when we put pictures up on my different stuff. So again, I would say to a lot of guys, if you're going to get in and just consistently work, 3 days a week for an hour, right, which is pretty much what we do, it can get most guys pretty much where they want to be, to where, walking down the street, everyone knows you live, you're in shape, people think you have a pretty good body. We're not talking about being a pro bodybuilder, but again, people who just want, the best body in the circles, friends in the room, at their company, this can easily do it.